Natural resources, energy and mineral resources. You are constantly using energy throughout the day, but you might be surprised at how much you depend on that energy. You use it for electricity, transportation, cooking your meals, keeping you warm, and other needs. That is why it's important to know where energy comes from and how much is available for humans to use. Most energy in the United States comes from non-renewable resources, and those are the resources that are used faster than they can be replaced by natural processes. Fossil fuels such as coal and oil and uranium, which is used in nuclear reactions, are examples of non-renewable energy resources. Fossil fuels are non-renewable because they formed over millions of years ago. The fossil fuels used today formed from the remains of prehistoric organisms that were buried under layers of sediment and changed chemically by extreme temperatures and pressure. Coal is a solid fossil fuel formed from decaying plant matter. Coal is the most plentiful fossil fuel in the United States. It is fairly easy to transport and provides a lot of energy when it is burned. However, coal mining can cause erosion and water pollution as well. Oil is a thick black liquid fossil fuel, and another name for it is petroleum. It is also formed from the remains of small animals, algae, and protists. Oil deposits are located deep below Earth's surface, and when oil is pumped out of the ground, it is called crude oil. Factories where crude oil is separated into fuels and other products by heating is called a refinery. Natural gas is a mixture of methane and other gases, and it forms from the same organisms as oil. Because it is less dense than oil, natural gas often rises above an oil deposit, forming a pocket where it can be accessed. Fossil fuels are removed through the ground through mining and pumping processes, and doing this rapidly decreases the fossil fuel reserves. Scientists estimate that at a current rate of consumption, some known reserves of oil will last only another 50 years. New sources of energy are needed to replace the decreasing fossil fuel reserves. This image shows how petroleum and natural gases were formed over millions of years. When plants and animals in prehistoric times died, their remains built up over time and sediment covered the remains. Bacteria would break down the organic remains, leaving mostly behind carbon, and these extreme temperatures and pressure compressed the material and squeezed out gas and moisture. As additional layers of sediment covered and compacted the layers over time, it changed successfully into petroleum and natural gas. Now, nuclear energy is another non-renewable energy source, and this energy comes from the release of atomic reactions. Nuclear power plants produce electricity using nuclear fission. This process splits uranium atoms. Each atom splits and releases 2 to 3 neutrons and thermal energy, and this release of neutrons hits other atoms, causing a chain reaction. Now, not only does nuclear power plants use uranium, which is a non-renewable resource, but the waste materials from nuclear power plants are highly radioactive and dangerous to living things. And the waste materials that remain are dangerous for thousands of years. Storing them safely is important for the environment and for public health. Certain minerals are also mined to make products that you use every day, and these minerals are called ores. Ores are deposits of minerals that are large enough to be mined for profit. In your house, for example, it contains many mineral resources. Some come from metallic mineral resources such as bauxite and hematite. The aluminum in refrigerators comes from bauxite. Your iron and nails and faucets come from hematite. Some mineral resources come from non-metallic mineral resources such as sand, gravel, gypsum, and halite. Non-metallic mineral resources are also mined from the land. Sulfur used in paints and rubber, and the fluorite used in paint pigments are other examples of non-metal resources that are found in your house. Now, your house is big. Think of just the smartphone in your hand. Here is a list of minerals that are mined so that you are able to use your smartphone. Once you take a look at this, let's take a break, and it's time for you to show what you know.